Hello and welcome everybody. I am Tammy Mangus, Superintendent of Schools for the Monticello Central School District.
I'm Lisa Fela, Assistant Superintendent of Business.
We are very excited to bring to you again our second year of video series regarding our budget building. For folks who can't make it out always to our Board of Education meetings, to keep you apprised as the taxpayers of our districts, how we are working to build a budget that ensures significant educational impact in positive ways while maintaining fiscal responsibility. Current district baseline includes multiple factors that we believe our taxpayers need to be aware of. We currently serve 2,926 students. We have 87 elementary classrooms. 292 classes occur each day in our middle school, while 435 classes operate in our high school. Aside from the regular school day, we also run 69 athletic programs, as well as 26 clubs, organizations, and activities. Everything that we do in terms of our budget is built around two key questions. What do we want for our children, and what do we want for our future? We are reticently aware here in Monticello that the academic success of our students helps drive our nation's economic strength. And as a result of that, we seek each and every day to increase Monticello outcomes. We have a very heavy goal of increasing our outcomes and our graduation rate to 90% in the very near future. Over the course of the past 2 years, we have increased it from 65 to 70%, and we are happy to report that this year we are expecting a rate well over 75%. We all have to take that into account as we are building our budget. We also pay attention to our board's 4 goals. Currently, the Board of Education has set our first and foremost goal for academic success of our students. Secondly, we want to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible. Third, we want to make sure that we are maintaining and enhancing our facilities so that folks know that we are a shining star, a beacon of educational success through our facilities. And finally, we want to make sure that we have an atmosphere of respect and trust and kindness. When we talk about all of those goals, what is it that we want for our children? What is it that we want for our economic success in the future? What is it that we want to do in terms of those 4 goals of our Board of Education? We have to make sure that we pay careful attention to building a student-centered culture through appropriate staffing so that we're not overstaffed or understaffed, and we need to make solid program choices. We do all of that through our budget building process. At this point in time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Lisa Fela, our Assistant Superintendent for Business. She's going to tell you a little bit about how we start our budgeting process and fill you in on where we currently stand with our rollover budget and the tax levy cap. Lisa, over to you.
Okay, we start our budget process differently now than we ever had in the past since the tax levy cap legislation. We need to determine the amount of money or revenue that we'll generate in order to support our programs. Part of that is the tax levy cap, or the famous 2% cap on taxes. This upcoming year, our projection for the tax levy cap for the Monticello Central School is an increase of 2.39% over our previous year tax levy, which was reduced by over 5%.
So Lisa, I have a question for you. So does that 2.39% that we're allowed to levy for taxes, does that fit within the 2%?
Absolutely.
So how does that work?
There's a very long, complicated calculation that involves many, many steps, and I'm just going to point out a couple. The first point that allows an increase in your tax levy cap is the tax-based growth factor. The state of New York comes up with that figure. Don't ask me how they do it, it's magic. But this year ours is 0.53%. Last year was 0.2, so it's an increase, so that's always a positive thing.
Excellent.
They take into account other things such as pilots, which are payments in lieu of taxes, but the number that really is significant is the increase in the consumer price index. They also call that the allowable levy growth factor. This year, the allowable levy growth factor is 0.12%, which is 0.12%, or pretty much flat or zero. It doesn't allow us to increase very much at all. Because the district actually reduced taxes last school year, the formula also allows you to carry over unlevied taxes from the prior year, or a percentage of that. This year, because of the reduction in taxes last year, Monticello is allowed to carry over a portion of that, which actually increases our 2% cap to 2.39%.
So that positive planning that we did as a district last year to ensure that we reduced the tax levy by 5%, while other districts are really falling short and having to make some very critical decisions, we were actually able to use that as a benefit to ensure that our programs can continue to maintain their strength. Is that correct?
That is correct, and keep in mind that even with this increase, the tax levy is still not as high as it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Excellent. That is good to know. So are there certain things that we pay attention to each and every day as we build our budget?
Yes, there's other parts of the tax levy cap calculation that have impacted the calculation in the past, but don't and haven't in the last couple of years. 2 of those things are the employer's contribution to retirement systems. The calculation allows for an increase if that percentage increases by 2 percentage points. Luckily, in the past 3 years, it has been decreasing, but it's a number that we keep an eye on because if it does increase, then we're allowed to adjust our tax cap calculation.
Excellent. Moving forward, tell us a little bit about where we are in our budget planning process for 16-17. We know that we are operating on assumptions right now and that we are building our best educated guesstimate, but what can you tell us about your experience and knowledge of what happens when you build your first framework or best guesstimate the majority of the time, and where we currently stand here in Monticello?
Okay, in my experience, your first draft best guesstimate budget is usually quite high. It'll come in several percentage points above what you estimate your revenue will be for that school year. So you have to make difficult choices sometimes easier choices to get that number back down to where you're underneath the cap. Our first draft budget, which I expected to be much higher, really was very reasonable for a first draft budget. It's well within the first draft estimated tax cap and state aid projections. I think it's doable, and I think it speaks to the fact that everyone in Monticello is really being fiscally responsible.
Yes. So thank you, Lisa, for that. So in a final note, we want to make sure that we remind each and every one of you that every single move that we make here at Monticello, we have those 4 goals in mind. Number 1, are we increasing academic success? 2, as Lisa just spoke, are we being fiscally responsible? And we will continue to bring forward fiscal numbers that match that responsibility that we are trying to show and shine. 3rd, we are currently focusing on facilities oversight, making sure that our facilities show us to be a shining star in education. And 4th and finally, are we a welcoming environment where we have trust and kindness at the heart? Each and every day, each and every moment, our budget is about our kids, our economic success as a village, as a county, and as a nation, and our education that we offer here to our children will define our future. We thank you for your support, and we'll see you at our next video segment.